Hey guys, I'm back for another tutorial, and this time we will be doing this sexy flowy bob with the closure. The hair was colored by myself, and we installed and actually did her makeup all in the same day. So if you also want to see how we achieve this look, keep watching. So you know it, let's get started. So right now, sectioning, same as before. I'm gonna braid her hair down. Here is my braid pattern. Nothing too intricate. Here is me adding now the closure, and I am sewing that down. And I'm gonna sew on the braids that are behind the hairline. So kind of like the second one. And then I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side as well. Okay, so now that we got that closure secure, let's go ahead and begin with our sewing. So right now I am sewing just one track. So I did not double it as of yet. The lower level, I always do just one track. For me, I feel like it just kind of cuts down on the bulk right at the neck. And so I'm just going through with my normal stitching. And this is right above the band. Now what I'm doing here is a little intricate. I'm actually sticking my needle through the end of the track, and I'm actually going to fold that over, so now I am doubling the track, and you'll be able to see it here. So I'm going back in the opposite direction, but I have now doubled the track, and I'll continue to sew double from here on out. Once I'm out of thread, I start a new needle with thread, and I loop that in and then go ahead and knot the two together. Then I cut the shorter thread and needle off and continue stitching from there. Okay, so before I get too far into the sewing, I go ahead and kind of cut my guideline. I go ahead and razor out about where I want the bob to stop. And this is easy if you do it before you've completed the sewing. It just makes seeing their neck and their hairline, where exactly you want it to stop, a lot easier, as opposed to if the head was fully sewn in. Now once I've completely razored all the way around, I'll then go in and start to install my colored hair. And that's the hair that I've bleached myself, and that will go from this point moving forward. As you can see here, I'm just closing up the top, and I'll give you a closer view so you can see how close I get up on that closure. I don't stitch on top of the closure, but I make certain that they meet, just like so. So clearly someone is ready for the next process. So right now I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of foam, and that's just going to mold the parting down. It's going to also take that hump out. This is a natural wave. I believe the closure is a natural wave. So it naturally already has kind of a lump or hump to it. So by putting the foam on it, it's going to smooth that hair down so it won't be so bulky to the scalp. Now that I have my parting squared away, I'm going to go in and use that guideline that I created with the darker hair earlier on. And that's going to let me know where to go in and razor my color hair. And once I go in with my razor, then I'll go in with my shears and I'll clean up any loose ends. And I'll also begin to cut some layers into the hair as well. Okay, so when deciding where to cut my layers, I do base this based on my client's head and where I want the weight to be. So I'm not going to go too high up on her. I'm going to keep the layers that are in the back a little longer so that they flow a little bit more closer to her neckline. And then on her sides, I'll go up a little bit higher so that she has a little bit more definition and more room for the layers to flow. So I'm going to go ahead and just like her right side, I'm going to layer her left side. And as usual, I'm using notch cutting. It works really great when you're using, 2 and 3 bundles of hair. Clients tend to have a better result when they are curling and styling on their own. So as usual, I'm using my Chi. Love, love, love this product. Can't say it enough. And you can get this from like your local TJ Maxx or Marshall's store. So as I'm finishing up, I'm being careful not to make these curls too tight on the top. I want her layers to be very soft, very loose. Don't want them to be too defined, just sort of soft and flowy. And clearly, she is done before I am. So at some point, I ended up just giving up and just letting her do her own thing. If this is a sign of a happy and satisfied customer, I'll take it. At this point, she couldn't hold it anymore, so I just kind of let her be. Now cleaning up her lower hairline. I usually do this way before I even begin to sew in. Just didn't do it this time, but it's definitely a process that's easier done before than after. But if you wait till after, that's fine as well. Okay, so clearly she's officially done with me. And I am equally done with her. So I'm going to mist her and let her go. The body in this bob is totally lit. I absolutely love it. It has a lot of texture, a lot of movement, very bouncy. I think she's pleased, and so am I. So if you enjoyed this tutorial and would like to see how we came up with this makeup look, please make certain that you watch the next video to come. And as always, remember, comment, like, and subscribe. Oh, and if you can, hit that notification bar so you'll always know when I upload a video. Thanks, loves.